Welcome back to the case study of Vanitas anime review, episode number 7. This is the 7th episode series, Love. This one went through the entirety of chapter 12 and like 2 pages from chapter 13, pages like 5 and 6. This one starts out very interestingly. Now, we're still at Luca's mansion, where you have Noe, Valantes. Oh, Vantes is I don't know if it's I call it Valantes because I think that there's an L in the name. Now in the anime they've heard of his name as Vantes. That's how they pronounce it in the Japanese. I'm not sure to pronounce it in the dub. I haven't watched the dub yet, so I don't know how to pronounce the dub. I call his name Valantes because there's an L in his name. And the way they pronounce it in the anime is that they actually. Oh, I thought there was. His name is Vantes. I just referred to it as Valantis because it seems a little more. Because the series is in France, so why not call it Valantis? Well, Vantes. So we have it. We have where Noe, or he has this special tart. Well, we technically don't start there. We start with a sort of a flash forward a little bit to the end, where you have Noe and Vantes dancing. Yes, they're dancing. And he asks the obvious question. He asks the question, what is devil in love? And that question's not answered until the end of the episode. And we flash forward, like, I would say probably the day prior, where you have, basically, on one side of the table, you have Luca, and you have Jeannie. On the other side, going from left to right, you have Dominique, you have Noe in the middle, and you have Vantes. And Noe loves this particular suite. He mentions his teacher used to bring it to him all the time, being from the human world. And he personally loves it. Of course, his teacher is Dominique's grandfather. And of course, he is basically such adoring it. And Vantes tries it. I mean, appearance-wise, this one goes as a toffee tart. To me, it looks like a slice of apple pie with it looks like vanilla ice cream on top. That's what it looks like to me. It looks like a piece of pie. And he loves it. And of course, Vantes reveals that, well, Jeannie left a mark on his collar from biting him. And he kind of brings up the fact that, well, so that he and Jeannie are in love. And of course, he is, of course, like, embarrassing her in front of her own master. Who is implied Luca may have had a thing for her. Possibly, because he kind of looks at her like a big sister, but it's possible he might be in love with her. And of course, later, I was like, I can't wait to be adult. So, then she's like, picks up Vantes, probably because he's pretty light. And the only reason why I think of the reason why he said pick up Vantes, I mean, he's a fully grown man because vampires got super strength. So, that's the reason why she's able to easily pick the man up. Because he's embarrassing her, and also the fact that she bit him. And of course they cover for the fact that she was possibly a curse bearer. And after chatting for a bit, he's like, okay, I'll keep your secret on 2 conditions. One, he says this, I must be the only person you drink blood from. And of course she's kind of upset about it, but she kind of accepts it. And the other one is pretty simple. Second one is simply this. Call me by my name and they'll call me human. And we also Noe chased after them. And, well, she perfectly accepts and starts walking back to the mansion. Meanwhile, Noe apparently looked like he was watching this. And then Dominique basically shows back up. And they kind of only have a really good moment where basically she like kind of bite him on his clothing and she starts drinking his blood a little bit. And then, of course, he's jealous of the fact that Jeannie got a chance to try his blood first because he did find his blood be delicious. Like, he had a very good smell to it. And he does admit to Dominique that her blood is very delicate. He still likes it. And by her expression on her face, it's like she's basically the expression of, like, the best way to describe it is that Dominique is actually in love with Noe. Probably she's been in love with him since they were kids, and he doesn't see it. He's oblivious. He probably may find out later on. So eventually they go back, and then they have the dancing. And of course, it looked like though that Noe was going to dance with Jeannie, but Dominique just swoops in and starts dancing with her instead. And they talk about passions. And of course, they look over at the two guys who both basically, well, and of course, then of course we have Vanitas dancing with Noe. Noe, of course, bear dancer, and like apparently, like despite the fact he's in love with Jeannie, like tells all the nice things about her, that she's beautiful, she's very clumsy. I mean, she likes everything about her, but apparently he has no interest in somebody who's in love with him. Despite the fact he loves her, she doesn't love him, and he has no problem with that. Nope. And my guess is there must be a reason why he has no interest in someone who's in love with him. And then of course then Noe asked the question. He has no idea what the answer is to that. And of course you have Luca just sitting on the steps like, I can't wait to be an adult. And then it cuts. It looks like the very next day, where it looks like we have Dominique and Noe preparing for a meeting with the Lord that's there, Lord Ravenoff, I think his name is. Where even though Dominique has got a summon from her home, is that he wants her. He wants her to basically answer that summons, because he does deeply care about her, and she does appreciate that. That's basically what his dialogue is. That's why I can tell with the dialogue is that he does deeply care about her very much, and she does appreciate that. And the fact that he he actually does like it, that she deeply cares about him too. So at least that's mutual. But admitting the fact that she's in love with him, that might come later on. And my guess is she is not wanting to get in trouble with her father. So that's the reason why he allowed her to tell her to very politely just go to your house. I'm sure they probably want to see you for something. And then of course the episode kind of ends with this very interesting thing. You have Noe and Vanitas going to meet the Lord of the Manor, who's a member of the Senate. And then we have this weird segment where it ends on a bed with this black smoke around the place. And that's where the episode ends. Kind of weirdly, yes. I thought it was a very weird segment to end on. But that's basically where we end right there, which I thought was kind of weird. Yep, it's a good episode, definitely. And I'm definitely looking forward to next week. And I think next week we'll definitely finish up this arc. Yeah, because this one only covered like one chapter. And you're thinking, really? It only covered one? Yeah, it covered only one chapter. Well, one full chapter, mind you. Mm-hmm. And we're only 7 episodes into the series. So, excuse me. So I would probably say that next week we'll probably start up adapting. Like, it'll probably finish up Ball Masquerade and may go to the third arc of the series. It's essentially possible. The next arc is not very long. It's only like 5 chapters. Actually, it's more like 6. But given the fact that the series, the chapters are lengthy. Like, if you're curious to how long the chapters are, they range from 40 to 60 pages a chapter. That being because it's a monthly manga. That's the simple gist of it. And if you read like how many chapters online, there's only like almost 60 chapters released. Well, that was because the fact at the chapter 32, the series went on a brief hiatus and then came back and released since then about, I think it was about 20 chapters. So I'm still reading it definitely, and I personally love the series. And can't wait for next week. And whatever, in case you might be asking, would I ever review a new chapter in the manga for this series? I have no immediate plans to do that. I may do it, I'm not sure, but it just depends, okay? So yeah, that's it for particular review. Normally, basically, next will be my hair, K-Comics will be dispatched, but there is a video I've been wanting to do for over a week. And I'm going to review the very next video, the Bleach one-shot. Okay, next video. Bye.